And I don't know what come over me. And I just want to make me come party. Don't want to lose it to nobody, no. But God, you know, go free. And I
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hoea. So today I decided to film a really quick get ready with me kind of chit chat video where I did this look. Now disclaimer, I'm not a makeup artist. I just know how to do my own makeup, and I decided to play around with Miss Jackie Aina's palette. Now really I just wanted to just like talk and get some things off my chest, and I'm talking all things self-care, navigating my 20s, what I learned, what I'm still learning. So if you're here for the first time, make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you're back again, make sure you like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this video. And stay tuned if you want to see me achieve this look. Okay guys, so I've already done my eyebrows, and I kind of got started on my eyeshadow a little bit. I decided to play around with the Jackie Aina palette today. And I used the color Ginger just in my crease. I'm trying to create a very neutral look. Also, this is not really a makeup video. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not an expert. I literally just barely know how to put my face on, but I was getting ready and I had all of these thoughts, and I figured I might as well just record a video while I'm getting ready, since I have like a little bit of time. So today really I just wanted to kind of talk about the importance of self-care, you guys. It is such an underrated thing. I feel like people almost feel bad, like even self-care sounds kind of selfish, but like you really need to be selfish when it comes to your mental well-being. Because honestly, like these jobs and like this work that everybody does and these corporations, it will run us into the ground. Like you need to know like when your limit is, when you need a break. That is a problem. The fact that work-life balance is not a given and you have to seek it out, you know? That's actually really problematic, and it's scary. It really scares me, I'm not gonna lie. Because I am in an industry that really, work-life balance doesn't even exist. Like I work as a journalist, I worked as a reporter for a few different TV stations over the last couple of years in different cities, and the concept of work-life balance is non-existent, I'll be honest. Like, because you work basically whatever shift you get an 8-hour shift, you're always going to be there at least an hour longer. That's a minimum. Even when you're off, you're not really off because you're spending that time looking for more stories, or looking for something different, or looking for something interesting that's happening in whatever community that you're living in. And like that basically means that you're never not working, you know what I mean? Especially since like work phones have become the norm these days. So everybody has a work phone, which means you have access to your internet 24/7, which means that even when you're not at work, work is on your mind, and when work is on your mind, you're not resting. And so that's what it was for me, like work phone, constantly looking for things when I'm not working so that I can have something to report on when I am working. And then on top of that, it's these really high pressure environments. I feel like people think that like, yeah, it's like a very glamorous job, but it's actually very exhausting, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you're just starting out. Like it may be super glamorous if you're like a 25-year veteran that is, maybe that's an exaggeration, but like 15 years even, and you're working as an anchor or like the face of a station, then yeah, at that point you get like some flexibility in your schedule and a little more freedom because you've put in your years. But when you're at that point where you're putting in your years, it's so exhausting. Like there's so much that you have to do. And especially now, not in Toronto, but when I worked in other cities, I was doing the job of 2 or 3 people. I was doing the job of an editor, I was doing the job of like a camera person, and I was doing the job of a reporter. So like I would go out, I shoot my own stories, I shoot my own interviews while I'm running the camera, and then get all of the shots that we need for the story, come back to the station, write the story, edit the story, present the story, and then do the web version of it. All of those used to be the jobs of a few different people, which would spread the load a little bit, and then it's less pressure on one person. But when it's one person doing all of those jobs, like that's eventually going to take a toll on you, you know what I mean? And so that's ultimately what happened with me. Like I just was so exhausted. Not to mention, I had to move around so much for my work, which means in the last 5 years, I lived in 4 different cities. So I moved from Toronto to Washington, DC, moved from Washington, DC to Calgary, and I lived there with my sister for a couple months. I looked for a job, moved from Calgary to Madison, Wisconsin, moved from Madison, Wisconsin to Edmonton, and then from Edmonton back to Toronto. So all of that happened in 4 years, which means packing, unpacking, buying things, selling things like for my apartment, finding apartments, finding cars, selling the cars when I'm moving, like shipping my stuff across the border a few times. So I feel like by the time I got back to Toronto, I was just like finished. I was exhausted, my mind was drained, my brain was drained, I was just like, my body was drained. I was just like, I don't even know if I can do this for the next couple of years, like let alone for the rest of my life. That's what I want like this YouTube channel to be for me. I just want it to be a creative outlet because I really found myself just tired all the time, like moving from city to city and doing like the job and sometimes reporting on really like sad or just like gruesome or these like horrific stories, and then just like come back to work the next day and like moving on to something else, you know what I mean? Like all of that takes a serious toll on you. And it just made me realize the importance of having like a really good work-life balance, because if you don't, you're honestly screwed. And I know like self-care is such a boring thing to talk about, but like when I tell you it is crucial in life to take care of yourself first, because nobody else is gonna look out for you if you don't look out for you. Okay, also side note, this palette is, wow. I'm actually loving it. I'm obsessed with it. But I gotta keep it light. Like I feel like I have this problem once I start doing makeup. I'm always like, yeah, I'm just gonna do like a light look, like daytime, and then I walk out just like boom, a whole different face. Like who is that with like these insane lashes and like these super bright colors on my eyes? So I'm just gonna lunch, so I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go put on some lashes and then get started on the rest of my face, and so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have lashes on now. I'm gonna get to doing the rest of my face. I'm actually just about out of my favorite Smashbox foundation, so I'm probably gonna mix that with this NARS Radiant one and see what happens. But this NARS one is actually, I got it in Syracuse and that's way too light, especially when I start to tan in the summer. So I'm hoping that since my tan faded a little bit, I'll be able to use it. Like I spent so long of my early 20s just like obsessing over like, am I doing what's right? Am I gonna be like a functioning adult? Am I gonna have a career? And I would have never guessed that like before I turned 30, I would be working in what I thought was exactly what I wanted to be doing, like in the city that I wanted to be working in, like where I am now. And it just goes to show that honestly, you really just can't plan life. Like you just have to trust the process and understand that like sometimes things aren't gonna work out and sometimes they are, and you just have to be okay with the outcome no matter what. And obviously that's what I'm learning. I mean, yeah, like I feel like we just have like this vision of like we're supposed to have it all together, and literally nobody I know has it all together. Like there's always something that needs improvement and needs to be worked on, and I feel like that's so normal and we don't talk about that. And so that's why I'm here. Like this is like a different journey, like a different part of my life. If you know me, you know that I've been talking about starting a YouTube channel for literally years, like years and years. It has to be like 4 or 5 years at this point, and I just never did it. And now I'm so happy that I am doing it. And it's like, you know, at a point in my life where like I really need a creative outlet. So that's what I'm like most excited about. Like I don't know like the exact types of videos I'm gonna be doing. I feel like there's gonna be like a huge mix like I was saying, but all I know is that this is what I want, you know? This is what I want to be doing, and I think it's gonna be fun, and we're just gonna have to see obviously how it goes. Okay, so now time for my fave, absolute fave. Ugh, I hate foundation lips. I look crazy. Okay, so now it's time for bronzer because obviously, I don't know if this camera has me looking really ashy. When I look in this mirror, I look normal, so I'm just gonna have to touch that up a little bit. I'm gonna use extreme amounts of bronzer because that's what I do. I'm using the Too Faced chocolate, what's it called? Yeah, the Too Faced chocolate gold bronzer. I actually really like it and it smells like chocolate, which I love. It looks like this. Moscow Mule and Ginger Binge. I love using these as like a combo blush highlighter. Okay, so now time for my lips. I am super basic. I always go brown liner and some shade of nude. I'm gonna lighten it up with my lipstick in a second. Today, I'll go in with Brave. Okay, so now that I'm done my face, I'm gonna just go quickly fix my hair and then I'll show you guys what the full look looks like. Okay, so this is the final look. As you can see, I laid my edges, I threw on a little pony, and then I changed, oh, and of course, some earrings. Overall, honestly, I'm really actually loving this look, and I wasn't too sure doing a daytime look with like the perfect nighttime palette, but overall, I really like it. I think it's perfect for what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to lunch, so I don't want to be too dressy, but I don't want to be way too casual. So let me know what you guys think. If you like it, if you hate it, if you want me to do something else, just comment down below. And thank you guys so much for sticking through this video and watching to this point. Hopefully you like what you see and you will like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
And I just want to make me come party. Don't want to lose it to nobody, no. But God, no go.